Jessi Klein. Welcome to General Meeting with Becky Sloviter. Words that make me so unbelievably happy to say.
I couldn't be happier to be here. Knowing that this was coming up has been pulling me through my days, my minutes, my hours, my seconds.
As usual,
Just waiting.
So beautifully articulate and so funny. This was an interesting one to prepare for because you and I have been so close for so many years.
We've known each other a long time. If we're measuring it just in your kids' lives.
Well before kids.
Yeah.
We met in a general meeting.
We met in an actual...
Yes.
This is the fruit of a really good general meeting.
It really, and in the true sense of what can happen in a general. You really connect with someone. I remember where we were.
I do too.
Me and Mary Parent.
Yep.
On the Universal lot. I was thinking back. It was either 2005 or 2006.
Yeah.
Because were you living out here yet? Or you were still in New York?
I did my first LA stint pre-family, children, all that stuff. Little single Jessi.
Yep.
I moved out here in 2005. So it very well could have been 2005. And I want to say, it might have been my first general meeting on a lot. And I did not know how to drive. Pulled up in a taxi and had to be let out at the gate.
Just standing there with they need your ID, especially at Universal where they are great, but it's very secure. So we met in this meeting. I was immediately in love. I truly it was cartoonish hearts in my eyes. And then
Disney eyes, Bambi eyes.
Truly. So then we just became friends almost immediately. I was just when is she moving out here permanently? So did you basically born and raised in New York?
Born and raised in New York. And thank you for, this is how cool you are, is that you open the door and you are in Stuyvesant phys ed t-shirt. A shout out to my New York City public school alma mater.
Yes. And a shout out to the love of my life, Ad Rock.
Ad Rock, who famously wears this t-shirt in the Fight for Your Right to Party video. Famous Beastie Boys reference that Venn diagrams with where I went to high school.
I am so Beastie Boys obsessed that I've had this shirt forever.
It's so cool.
As I was thinking about what to wear today, as we were texting about, I was we should just wear our matching N. Efron sweatshirt.
N. Efron.
That you wore on your amazing podcast, which we will talk about in a moment.
I wear it as often as possible.
I am going to bring it back to the N. Efron, but I'm going to quickly say, so I was so excited as I was getting dressed for this, and I was what am I going to wear? And then I was oh, it's a little schleppy, but also
so cute.
I'm making a point.
It's so cute on you.
Honoring you and my love of the Beastie Boys, and then grabbed my Paul's Boutique water bottle that I made for Matt Smith's 50th birthday party.
What a good partner you are. What a good wife.
Really try.
I mean,
I made 12. I chose 12 of his favorite albums, bought so I could get, I didn't want the ridges. I got the smooth water bottles, got them at Ralph's, cut off the label, printed these. Knew that whatever they call Kinko's now, FedEx office.
FedEx
was going
office.
to be these are copyrighted images. So I printed one by one on this shitty printer in our house these labels of his favorite albums. And so now I would just to put them on display. There we are.
Can we?
It's a Beastie Boys Jessi Klein episode. Thank you.
This episode is sponsored by
exactly
FedEx office.
The King Ad Rock.
The King Ad Rock. I can't. That is some really good wifing.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I know how busy you are, and I'm going to jump around here a little bit.
Really?
Can we actually, I'm not going to go total reverse chronology, but
okay.
Can we actually start by talking about the amazing podcast that you and Liz Feldman are doing right now?
Yes. Liz and I,
the incomparable Liz Feldman.
Truly one of the greatest gifts of my life. And this is sort of part of what the podcast was about. What a surprise this, I think, was an experience for both of us. Liz Feldman, amazing writer, creator, showrunner, creator of Dead to Me, a little show you may have heard of. No Good Deed.
No Big Deal.
She's just incredible and the best person. And I was lucky enough to meet her when I got hired to write on Dead to Me.
So you didn't know each other, which I learned from the podcast, but because all roads lead back to Christy Smith.
All roads lead to Christy Smith.
We should play a drinking.
All roads lead to Christy Smith.
Let's look at these cameras because we hate the wide here at General Meeting with Becky Sloviter.
We hate the wide.
Christy Smith, you are an angel. Sent from heaven. But it's funny.
She sent me another angel.
Of course. I mean, she really did.
Of Liz Feldman.
And do you know, I've never met Liz Feldman.
Stop.
I know, because we have 97 million people in common, but
we'll have a
having heard so much about her and being so obsessed with Dead to Me and No Good Deed, I know, and Christy as well as I do, and Elbom and everybody. But
the best.
I was thinking to myself this morning, should we play the equivalent of a drinking game of every time?
Oh, wait, was that not the whole question?
Exactly. Of every time Christy's name comes up on this podcast, drink.
Oh,
we'd be wasted in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We love you so much.
We love you so much.
So you and Liz, you meet when you come on to Dead to Me.
Yes, we met. I was just a working stiff in need of a job. And
also, you're the most humble person alive, but we'll get to that in a moment. Sure, go.
And then and Liz is also Christy's client. And then I watched the show. I think when we met, like the show had just dropped.
The first season. You wrote on second season?
Correct. Okay. Correct. Liz and I sort of had it was about a job, but it was also kind of a general meeting.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm going to say, at least for me, also kind of love at first sight.
Totally. Well, clearly for both of you. Your chemistry on this podcast, I know I texted you. I was like going up and down the aisles at Trader Joe's and like would have to stop every like I was halfway from pasta down to the applesauce, and I was like, long. I mean, this is my dedication, because the best way to digest a podcast, I find, is one AirPod in, grocery store, or you're in your car, or whatever. Your podcast just makes me so happy, which we need so much more of these days. So it's like,
what are you referring to?
Yeah. Guys, things are so good.
Right now, it's like, on a summer day when it's the perfect temperature. We live in hell.
The words dumpster fire are not, I made a keyboard shortcut for them on my phone because I say them so much.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's at least be efficient in our darkness.
It's a tough time.
It's not great.
Top to tail, it's a tough time.
But your podcast, the notion of making friends, I'm not going to say later in life, but like in your 40s, let's say. I find that you and Liz, your senses of humor, your sort of way you view the world, it is the warmest hug. The art of you guys as Thelma and Louise. It makes me so happy.
That was very fun to do. I was like, I guess I'll just wear what I kind of always wear, which is sunglasses and a little schmata. She's a gem. I do love listening to podcasts, and I know, maybe you could speak to whatever struggle you may have had getting us here this day. But I was actually thinking about this getting into my car, coming here. I'm like, you could say this about anything where you're like, is there too many?
Yeah.
And like,
totally.
That's always, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Were there too many movies? Were there too many TV shows? Maybe. But then there are great ones. And if that person who made the great, what if Phoebe Waller-Bridge had been like, there's too many TV shows, I'm not going to write Fleabag.
Can you imagine?
You got to do it.
I don't want to think about my life without that. And I'm going to, very professional of me, grab my Hot Priest coaster to match your Hot Priest mug. Also, I look like a pencil. I mean, I could just go on and
those are really good coasters.
Well, Betsy, I fucking love you.
Oh,
Neil.
Fleabag season 2. I did do a rewatch, I don't know, 8 months ago or so of the first episode of Fleabag season 2, the dinner. Because it is
masterclass.
It's a masterclass. And I was going to be working on a dinner scene for something, and I can't remember what it was anymore. And if I could, I would tell you. But I was like, I'm going to just go to the source and watch the greatest dinner scene ever written.
And it is also efficient to a degree that is so enviable. It's hard to.
It's making me feel kind of bad about
Yeah, you know
myself
what?
to talk
Let's
about
pivot.
it.
I'm going to actually bookend this.
Okay.
Your amazing podcast that you're doing with Liz right now, and everybody go find it. Here to Make Friends. Wherever you get your podcasts. I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Okay, go back to the beginning.
New York City. You are my quintessential New York City authority, friend, all of the things.
Okay. Not bad.
No, I mean,
not bad.
But even before you moved here, I remember coming out to, do you remember us going to Birbiglia's show in 2000?
I mean, we've been to a lot of different shows together.
Yes, we have. So many.
Many shows.
Hi, Liz Fair.
Hi, Liz Fair.
We have so many overlapping tastes, and there are just certain things that have happened where I'm like, well, Jessi Klein's the only person I'm going to go to with this, so we'll just see what her schedule's looking like and build it around that.
Absolutely.
So,
here for you.
Born and raised in New York City.
Born and raised.
Right in the city.
In Manhattan.
Like, this is why. You're cool on 27 levels, but this is.
You know, I do, as I've I think might be on a dating profile of mine is the 86 Mets are almost 90% of my personality.
Oh my God.
I'm very New York City identified.
Yes,
it is.
it's the best.
It's the fifth character.
I mean, so good. So perfect. I couldn't help but wonder. Okay, born and raised there, Stuyvesant High School. Forever.
Sure.
Vassar. Did you have the most amazing experience there?
No, I did not.
I guess we've actually never gone deep on this.
No.
I totally expect you to be like, I did.
I know friends who did. You know, I don't really fault Vassar. I first of all, just say Vassar felt very outside of. It just was not really my personality. I partially went there because my dad wanted me to, God bless.
Yes.
And received a great education. But there were amazing professors there, absolutely.
For sure.
Did I make amazing friends there? 100%.
Did you meet Becky from Philadelphia there?
No, I did not meet Becky.
Get to that.
Kate I met there.
Okay, Kate. Hi, Kate.
Becky from Philadelphia came, she was a friend through an old Stuyvesant friend of mine.
Okay, got it. Because then I became the other Becky from Philadelphia, which when you write about her in books, I've had many people say, is that you? And I was
We've got two Beckys.
Yes, exactly.
We've got two Beckys.
We do.
And the best Beckys are from Philadelphia.
I'll take it.
As everybody knows.
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, Vassar just was a little I was a very shy, socially inept person, if one could believe.
I can't square that.
I really was. I didn't I was not good at making friends.
Were you?
I was a lonely
late
child.
bloomer? I'm going to bring it all back. I know too much about you, Jess.
She
wrote an amazing script called Late Bloomer at one point.
God.
But also, this is what sort of intrigues me or fascinates me about you even saying that.
Okay.
You then come out of college, start working at Comedy Central. When do you start doing stand-up?
I was there for several years before I started doing stand-up. I had wanted to do stand-up for a really long time. And then, because part of why I ended up at Comedy Central, I was a huge Comedy Central viewer. I was obsessed with watching stand-up. And that was part of how I kind of finagled my way in there. And then I learned, I just was so in love with the idea of it, but I was so scared to do it.
Yeah.
It took years of therapizing about it and thinking about it.
The phrase I always use is naked in the street when something's so vulnerable. Doing stand-up, especially as you're starting out.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I was just going to say, is there actually anything scarier? I dare you. I dare anyone on this fucking planet.
Disgusting. And also, but it was very much also a moment in time. So it's early aughts and it was paying to go up at an open mic. I would pay them.
No, I did
which is, by the way, correct. That was actually the right economics for what was going on.
When I found out that was the policy from so many friends who have done the same, I was just horrified and disgusted. And then also
but when you look back on it, you're oh,
thank
absolutely.
you for coming to this.
I can't believe they let me do it so cheap. And I should have been more.
And am I making this up? Or I could be confusing two things, but I feel when Nick Kroll who has been a very close collaborator of yours forever.
Adore.
When he came on to your podcast,
Yeah.
he talked about you guys initially met
On the street. Going to an open mic at
Yes.
Parkside Lounge on House of the Street.
Oh,
Like a block away from Katz's Delicatessen.
this is the coziest New York sentence anyone's ever said. I need a pastrami on rye immediately. This isn't cool.
It was very, I'll have what she's having. It was like that moment. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure everybody in the moment they're in is like, it was a special moment. I'm sure the people starting to stand up today in New York are having a special moment. But it was like 90s, early aughts, New York City.
And then, then I was actually going to jump to Kroll's show, but I wanted to touch upon one thing real quick, which is best week ever.
Sure.
Remember that? That was, I want to say,
life.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, talk about remember that, Jessi Klein.
No,
That was
it really was how I got into like the biz.
And like being on camera because of your voice, and they had seen you because you were becoming known in the comedy scene.
I was like out and about in like the quote unquote alternative comedy scene, which at the time was like primarily like all these places that don't exist anymore. Like Luna Lounge was kind of like the center of it. But yeah, I was kind of like, honestly, I was like just good enough to be not bad. And like, that's kind of, I feel like, where I left my stand-up career. But anyway, it was enough at the time.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really like internet, like YouTube, etc.
Yeah.
It was enough to kind of be seen. And Fred Graver, who created Best Week Ever for each one, was like, putting some stand-ups like on this thing that became like such a sensation.
It was the best.
I loved Best Week Ever.
I lived for that show.
I loved everything on VH1.
Totally.
Every single thing about it.
Totally. Oh my God. Behind the music.
It was so good. And so I basically got to a point where I was doing Best Week Ever, which taped at 1515 Broadway, which was about a 10-minute jog to my Comedy Central workplace at 1775 Broadway. So I would I would always book like the earliest, like you'd go in for like an hour.
Yeah.
I would get there at like 8 to be put through like a hasty HMU. Real lipstick on a pig. Do like it and then do like an hour. And also, like, I didn't ever really wear makeup at the time, so
late bloomer, as we said.
Late bloomer, yeah. So then I would run when I was done, literally run.
You walk in there like
kind of like, but clearly like had been like pancaked over for TV, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm here to be the manager of development now.
Hello, I'm going to give you notes on your script."
Yeah,
I know,
and it was just clearly, it was like walk of shame.
Yes, which oh my God, what a perfect segue.
I mean.
So
right here, it's right here.
Then you're having enough success where you are getting representation. You can leave your job being a development executive at Comedy Central to be a full-time
after 7 years
writer and performer. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It is not overnight.
No, I was at Comedy Central for Comedy Central for 7 years and was very, very, very scared to leave because scarcity mindset.
Oh yes.
I'm not, what am I going to leave a steady paycheck to go do whatever?
I can't relate.
No, I know you can't. I know you can't. Yeah, you've never been in that situation.
I'm not doing that right now. Don't worry about it. But I do like the bravery that takes. So then you find yourself on the Universal lot with me and Mary Parent. You pitch the idea for Walk of Shame.
Yeah. I mean, it was based on like having dated one person for a very long time, like straight out of college, and then kind of becoming someone dating for the first time like a little later than you should have started dating. I still can't believe I sold a movie.
Like 20 years later.
I still can't believe
did that happen?
I honestly can't.
It was such a brilliant script, and just the winding road of getting anything made in this town. And like, you know, we used to make stuff. That was a thing. But very shortly after we worked on that movie together, You were based in New York, but you would come out here because you were working on some TV shows, right?
I started
with Samantha who? The first one?
My very first TV writing job I had was the Showbiz Show with David Spade. You're welcome. And then Samantha Who was my first like scripted like network
going into a writer's room.
Yeah.
That's like ABC 22 episodes a year, right? Is that your first?
That was
into
should have been 22 episodes a year, but then I experienced my first writer strike.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this was at the end of 08.
Correct.
Into 09.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So were you living out here at the time?
I had sublet. I think I recently found by like, when you're searching your like email inbox, and this is a sign of, I have like 700 million emails in my inbox and I never delete any of them, but I found it's
Matt
not
Smith
great.
does this too. I am an obsessive deleter and filer. I like if I have more than 17 emails in my inbox, I am like have to take to the bed. Like
my inbox would give you a full body
for
panic
sure,
attack.
for sure.
But I found again, some 1,000 years old. I rented an apartment, a rent-controlled apartment in New York. Was it next door to my parents? Yes. Don't worry about it.
That's a story for another time. I came to visit you there once. Yes, you did. Oh my God, I can picture it.
You did. And then I would illegally sublet it for a few months here and there, and I would do that by posting it on Craigslist. And then I would come to LA and sublet a place out here.
And then you were head writer of Amy Schumer.
Yes.
I loved that show so much.
It was
so
really
brilliant.
Fun. Part of, I think, what created the energy of that show, other than Amy's brilliance and the brilliance of all the other writers as well, was the fact that me and Amy and Dan Powell, our beloved Dan Powell.
The beloved Dan Powell. I literally said to him,
my eternal work husband.
I was
forever.
like, Jessi is taping the pod tomorrow, so the words Dan Powell will be said.
I can't believe it's taken this
multiple
long.
times. I mean, sorry, Dan. We've been taping for this long.
He should be insulted.
Exactly.
Always top of mind. But yes, Dan Powell, who was one of the other EPs, Dan, Amy, and I were just sort of put in charge of this show, and we were all relatively young. I think for the first like month or so, we were all just like, or maybe the entire time we're like, who do we work for? Right. Like, who's our boss? And then we'd be like, we're the boss. Like,
totally.
We were on Comedy Central and they were our overlords, but like we were in charge and we were sort of just like, what if we tell them we're doing this? That's, I think, part of what it was just, again, like very Amy's brilliance and brilliant other people working as well, but just kind of unfettered and like left to our own little devices. So that was super fun.
That show, it was so meaningful. It was so smart. It was incredible. I feel I've actually, and you reminded me something you said. I skipped over something. SNL. Yeah. When you wrote for SNL.
Yeah, my ignominious 10 months.
When you, so you...
Is that the right word?
Are at the, I think so.
Okay.
I was impressed.
Okay.
When the end of that season came, and I was talking to you that summer, and you were like, I'm not going to go back. And you said something like it was such a great experience, but I'll never forget these words. You said, but it's a young man's game.
Did I say
and I was like, not only did you say that, you were 30. That's what it is. I have like told this story far and wide. I haven't used your name, but now it's really far and wide. You were like, Sloviter, it's a young man's game.
Wait, in fairness, I was a little older than 30.
32?
Maybe.
Like
33.
Maybe.
It's a young man's game. I can't believe I said that.
Which, by the way,
such an old person's thing to say. But in 1920,
it's one of the 9 million reasons that we bonded so immediately and why I love you so much. We are old souls.
I mean, I will sometimes sort of say to someone like jokingly, like, "Oh, I gotta get home like for my 9 p.m. bedtime," and they sort of think I'm joking.
Yeah, and I was gonna say,
but then I'm like,
what's funny about that?
Someone the other day, I can't remember what friend of mine, someone was like, we were going to go to dinner and they were like, 7? And I was like, are we in Ibiza?
Are you
7?
Like, in Ibiza?
What are we doing? Like, truly for me at this point, I kind of want 5.
So you're on this incredible hit, Amy Schumer, but you are still living in New York at this time too, right?
Yes, at that point, yes. I had decided, I'm like, I'm back in New York. I am a New York gal.
So are you on Schumer at the time when, hold on.
Oh, what's about to happen? She's getting up.
She's getting up.
She's getting up. She's going behind. Oh, little sneakers.
She's going here to take off a very important shelf that includes Michelle Obama.
Oh, I mean, what a neighbor.
And little shoes from the movie I made last year.
Oh, cute.
Okay, these books by the one and only Jessi Klein.
Oh my God.
Sit there always, as I was telling you.
They're so supportive.
Well, they're not here because you're here. They're here always.
Oh boy.
And for two reasons. So are you on Schumer when you write this book still?
Okay. So the first book,
which was called You'll Grow Out of It, with the cutest photo of, what are you, 8 here maybe?
How old am I in that picture? Yeah, like maybe 7 or 8 or something.
I mean, have you ever seen a cuter?
Yeah, my mom cut my little bangs.
Oh, it's too much to handle.
Little Star David in there.
Yeah.
I
love it
so much. We had shot the, God, I think it was the pilot, and we didn't know if we were going to get picked up, and so I had no job. I was introduced to the most incredible book agent in the world, David Kuhn.
Yes.
General meeting. He had read like some random little essays I had written here and there in the world. And he really took a chance on me. And he was like, I think you could write a book. I was like, I don't. And Sherpa'd me through the process of like putting together a book proposal, which is hard.
Yeah.
And you don't get paid to do it.
No.
But again, I had nothing else going on. And so I started, so then he sold this book proposal for me. And that's how that started. And then you wrote
this amazing book. This is where you informed the world of the poodle versus the wolf, which I feel like, just because we're so close, I know people reference this to you all the time.
You know, that was a satisfying, creative moment when you feel like there's maybe just a couple of essays in both that I am especially proud of and feel like touched a nerve.
I have more to say in a moment on this.
Okay, Becky.
But will you tell us?
Okay.
What is a poodle and what is a wolf?
Okay, it's funny because this did actually just come up the other day. So poodle and wolf. The genesis of Poodle Wolf was when I was working on SNL and was there late one night, and the TV was on, and there was an interview on with a woman who you may know as Angelina Jolie, and the
never heard of her.
Legendary Emily Spivey, one of our greatest writers, our greatest iconic legends. Somehow we're both in the room, and we're just like, we're our late at night at work writer selves in this moment is all I'll say.
Yes.
And Angelina is Angelina-ing all over the place and whatever this interview is. And we were just like, what is happening? And I was like, I feel like we're not the same species as her. And then somehow that evolved into like, she is a poodle and I am a wolf. And like, technically you're like both kind of dogs, but in no way how did this even happen? So a poodle is just like a woman who was like just sort of born to hold her femininity with such comfort and
live elegance.
With elegance.
Yeah.
And a wolf is someone who's not.
You and me and everyone else we know.
You and me and everyone we know.
I love it so much.
And like it is a fun,
really resonated
little game to play.
Yes.
To look around you. And it's not that poodles are bad. I mean, I am currently trying to figure out how to poodle up a little bit.
Ooh,
but it's gonna
I love it.
I feel like I need to poodle up a little, but it's hard for me because I'm a wolf.
And this is
at best a wolf
in poodle's clothing.
Poodle's clothing.
One of my other favorite chapters in this book, and everyone who hasn't read this book, like, run, don't walk. It is so good. And I just remember when you put it out, everyone, because I would talk about you a lot, and everyone who knew that I knew you was like, oh, that chapter on anthropology, I've never felt more seen. It needed it. Much like segueing to this beloved tome. I will admit my bias here
Okay.
in many ways.
Okay.
But this book that you then published in the spring of 2022
Correct.
is called I'll Show Myself Out, Essays on Midlife and Motherhood. So this is now your second book of essays because it's You'll Grow Out of It is essays as well and just like hilarious.
Essays is all I can do. I don't have the imagination.
Can you imagine?
Did you see that clip of Mariah Carey the other day where Mariah Carey was told about Katy Perry going to space? Just quickly interrupt just to tell you because this was so great. I almost sent you.
I can't wait.
There was a recent interview with Mariah Carey where someone's like says something about like and da 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 like da 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 like when Katy Perry went to space and Mariah goes, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "What'd you say?" They're like, when Katy Perry went to space?" And she goes, "Katy Perry went to space?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah, just clearly hearing about this for the first time." And then she goes, "For how long?" And the person's like 10 minutes. And she's like, "Oh." And then this is such a tenuous connection to what you were saying. But then the person goes, Would you ever want to go into space?" And Mariah's like, "Oh." She goes, "I've done enough." And that is just how I feel about just writing essays. I'm like, done enough. It is so satisfying.
And you're going to get a pillow embroidered with I've done enough, which can be the companion to the other pillow I got you.
You are the best pillow getter.
I was literally referencing this to someone yesterday. I was like, well, as Anne Lamott says, if people wanted you to write more warmly about them, they would have behaved better.
They should have behaved.
They should have behaved better.
They should have behaved better.
The should is actually so important. I'm glad you corrected me. Oh my God. Yeah. But so you now will have accompanying pillows. I've done enough.
I've done enough. Mariah Carey. Okay. Sorry. I took us down a weird fucking path.
No book has ever meant more to my motherhood soul or to every mother I know because when this book came out, and I know this not just because we are friends, but because I was one of the people helping produce this project, the adaptation of it. So I was like, I always hate saying ground zero. I was center of the nucleus. Yeah, exactly. What's tomorrow? I literally, as we were scheduling this, I'm like, well, we can't do it on September 11th. Just because of like bad juju. Yeah, like we just can't.
Tough guy.
I couldn't believe my son's back to school night was scheduled for September 11th. I'm like, have you no shame?
I know.
Doesn't matter. So you put this book out. It is Essays on Midlife and Motherhood is the perfect subtitle because also like cut me right to my core, but also it's such a huge part of your identity. And you talk so much about identity in this book of what becoming a mom does to our collective identity, the bravery that you bestow in talking about your own experience, becoming a mom, just all the things. But I keep it on this shelf because this, before I turned it into a podcast studio, was my office. And I would Zoom with people and I wanted to have it handy because honestly, like 75% of the Zooms, something would come up about like, we're moms and isn't it hard being a working mom or just being a mom in general or just whatever. And I was like, have you read?
Aww.
And I would like Vanna White real quick. So the book publishes in April, but The Cut does an excerpt from your book and it goes viral. Epiphany in the baby food aisle. It was an excerpt from one of the chapters and it cut everyone across this country and beyond to their core.
I was surprised.
Were you?
I was thrilled and delighted. Yeah, I really honestly,
those DMs kept coming. The amount of people reaching out to you. Can we reference Julia Stiles? Can we reference the day that one came in and we like screamed?
I mean, obviously screaming about anything related to Julia Stiles. I really wrote a lot of that book just being like, this is too much of a downer. This is too like that. I think what was excerpted was something from like the opening chapter.
Yeah, the hero's journey.
The hero's journey, which like I really was like, thought that was the most vassery part of myself where I was like, this feels like a college essay. Like this is not something to put in a book that you want people to like buy at large.
And people lost their minds over it. Isn't it so funny? Like, you don't have the
I
perspective.
had no idea.
Yeah.
I was so surprised.
I will tee you up to say it, but I say this, I tell people all the time. What is the thing that everyone without fail said the same sentence over and over again about your book and how it made them feel?
I do believe the phrase was "I feel seen."
Correct. Yes, it was.
Do I know it? It was "I feel seen."
Let me quiz
"I feel
you.
seen."
Let me give you trivia about your own life. "I feel seen" was over and over and over again. And I think what ties in so beautifully to this is what happens when you become a mom is you then stop being seen at all.
Yeah, you evaporate.
Because it is
You evaporate
all
completely.
about the kid. I remember listening to the Goop podcast once where they talked about, it was so like beautifully said. It was a really early Goop podcast. And they said, you go from being a pregnant princess to a postpartum pauper.
Yeah.
It is like, oh, you're so cute. You're, oh my God, what do you do? To like, get the fuck out of here. You and your like boobs that feel like they're going to fall off. And you have mastitis for the 9th time. And you feel horrible and you're exhausted beyond belief and incoherent and like all the things.
Yeah.
But make it cute. Like, you just fail to be in the conversation in so many ways. And I think what this book did was it was a balm to people's souls. They felt like you were everybody.
Really nice.
Oh my God. But wasn't it so gratifying? Like, you poured yourself into this book. You laid it all bare. Because I'm obsessed with the New York Times spelling bee, yesterday was able to put Boone and reminded me of how you end the book.
Oh man, you're making me cry.
I made her cry too. But like, are you spelling bee obsessed, by the way?
I am spelling bee obsessed.
It is
spelling bee obsessed.
And when I get genius, I am walking around here like my shit doesn't
Congratulations.
Stink.
Maybe once. And you know what, by the way? There are words you can get on there that then they tell you isn't a word.
Thank
you're
you.
like, baby, it's
2
a
days ago,
word.
New York Times, are you listening? Like, that
Turd.
is a word. Yeah.
Turd is a word.
And the ones
what
that
are we?
Exactly.
Come on. Are we pretending it's not?
Bended. It was yesterday. It was on the one that was Boone.
I don't know if I
Isn't on bended knee a phrase?
To me, it is.
So bended should be a word. I would just like to say on the September 9th spelling bee.
Consider this our angry letter to the editor.
Exactly. Thank you so much. But we worship you and don't make it go away.
Don't make it go away.
Exactly.
It was very
so gratifying, right?
Yeah, it's hard to write a book. It's fucking it's hard, and then to have it matter to people and to get such incredible notes from strangers who say they're feeling seen. And I really had such a hard time. And that is with having a ton of luck and privilege and how my path was through having those early years of childhood. But still, it's just fucking hard. And I felt depressed and sad and alone for a lot of it.
Yep.
And
I think putting a voice to that is like, it's trite to say that it's brave. It is brave, but it's more than that. It's like you gave voice to, you were a canary in the coal mine with this. You really were.
Once I started thinking about it, and it's certainly not that people haven't told those stories before, but it because they absolutely have, but it just felt like they hadn't been told enough.
Enough never can be. B, oh look, I didn't even do this on purpose, but it is open to Becky, love you beyond words. But I was going to open to, because here's what's also so great about it. I'm opening to some of the chapters here.
I just want you to know that my eyesight is such that I can't see those words.
By the way, me either.
If that was an eye test, and I should know what's written there. And
I don't have my readers on, so I'm going to have to hold it back here.
Can't see it.
This is what happens when women in their 40s sit and do a podcast. Not only are there chapters that will like lay you bare and you're crying, but then there are chapters called An Open Love Letter to Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. And listening to Beyonce in the parking lot of Party City. Like, there's just, this is maybe my favorite named chapter. Your husband will remarry 5 minutes after you die. Like, this is the humor that is woven through the book so that it's not even close to a downer or depressing read or a bummer. I feel so seen because it's all things. Having a kid, having kids, it's hard as fuck and it's also great. It's all the things. So let's stop being in a place of it's just always great.
Yeah.
And also acknowledge all this shit.
Yeah.
And then it can be both as we tell our deeply feeling kids.
As we know, it can be, as Daniel Tiger once said, you can have two feelings at the same time.
Yes. God bless Daniel Tiger.
A wise man named Daniel Q. Tiger once. Oh my God, so much Daniel Tiger.
So I was going to say, because Asher's a
much
bit younger
Daniel
than my boys, I missed Daniel Tiger completely. We were like Octonauts, Doc McStuffins, a little Paw Patrol in there.
Okay, yeah, we never did Paw Patrol, weirdly enough.
I remember picking up my kid from school because they were getting a new pup on Paw Patrol. And I was like, we have to race home because they're getting a new pup named Everett.
I know that I feel like,
it took over the world.
Paw Patrol really did take over the world.
I'm going to say one more thing to wrap up this part, and then we're going to get to last looks.
Okay.
And the one last thing I'm going to say to combine 12 other things that we have just talked about, but something you said reminded me. When you were moving from New York to here, after you'd had Asher, he was about 6 months old.
Correct.
And you had a wonderful nanny.
Oh, God. Are you going to say that
I'm going to say the thing. And I'm going to try not to start crying.
Our wonderful nanny, Luce
said, as she was on one of your last days there, and you told me this story, and I fell apart, and I think about it often because it is so poetic and so beautiful. She said to Asher, I know, we're going to take a pause after this. She said to Asher.
And Asher was 6 months.
Yes, but which is why this line really resonates. She said, you won't remember me, but I'll never forget you.
God damn it.
Oh, my God.
Luce.
Oh, Luce, thank you forever. So these will go back on the bookshelf where they belong, but they'll stay with Lloyd Dobler now for a moment.
Yes, put them right next to Lloyd.
Okay, so now this brings us to last looks.
Last looks,
which is really, I know I sent you the question.
Yeah, I had answers.
The sort of preamble that I don't think I put in the email to you was the reason behind doing this is remembrance a bit of our favorite things in pop culture, and some of them being more recent and some of them not. So I know.
It's very hard.
First question here, man. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Can I please give two?
Yes, of course.
Are we allowed to split? The two that just always are my blinks.
Yes. Yes.
First thought.
Exactly.
Lost in Translation,
obviously,
and Bridget Jones' Diary. The first one.
Yes, the first. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It's a perfect movie. Just pivot. It's pivot.
I've seen that movie so many times that I know.
Show me,
please,
the frame of that movie that isn't perfect. I defy you.
In every way. No, it's
every way.
It's so true. I love that combination of movies too.
Lost in Translation. I don't even know what to say. I just remember.
I know.
Actually, do you know who I saw that movie with in the theater? Becky from Philadelphia. Just like an emotional experience, sort of left the theater in disbelief.
Yes.
And just eternally wanting to know what was whispered in her ear at the end.
And she's obviously, they will never say,
they
right?
Will never
this
say.
Is, yes.
They will never say.
But what is it?
Right? Also, how do I get Sofia Coppola's color hair?
That's really what we need to talk about. The perfection of Sophia.
Me and Jillian Bell have talked about how we had a moment when we were both at SNL where we talked about just being we talked about Winona Ryder and her perfect little face, and how certain people have a perfect little face, and I feel like Sofia Coppola has a perfect little face.
Did I last week in my endless want to live in the 90s again, Google Winona Ryder 17 magazine cover so that I could remember. Do you remember the one with her with the hat? And talk about
when she's in that beautiful dress.
You bet.
And I'm where was that dress from? It's giving Agnes B.
Oh my God. Are we going to talk about Sassy Magazine right now? And just for the next hour and a half?
I would happily.
Thank you. Hi, Jane Pratt. You changed my life. But all of that soup of those issues of, and us growing up on Winona, every time I bring it up, Matt's Wino forever.
Her
perfect little face. And Sophia.
Yeah. Now I'm going to just go into reality bites, but I'm.
Did you read this? She cut her own hair for that movie, apparently. Did you read this last week?
Of course, I just read that she said she cut her own hair, and I'm sorry, but she's misremembering that.
Wait, exactly.
There's not a world.
May I say
where you achieve
that perfection of Lainey's haircut?
Through a pandemic where I tried to get my own hair, and it didn't look the same any. Okay,
Matt would cut the boys' hair during the pandemic.
I was cutting
I would cut
hair.
Matt's, and
we all looked insane.
Correct.
We looked insane.
We won't get off on this.
I will send you pictures later of Asher's pandemic haircut.
But Asher's like adorable bowl cut.
Yeah, it wasn't adorable anymore.
You know what? We all just did our best. Next question.
Yes.
Look.
Okay.
You are stranded on a deserted island.
Oh no!
You have 2 albums with you to help maintain your sanity until you are rescued. I'm going to vamp a little to give you more time to think.
No, I have one.
Okay. As I said to someone the other day, it's not like a Tom Hanks and Castaway situation. Like, you are getting rescued, but it is still like, you're going to be there for a minute.
I have to kind of live with it for a bit.
Yes.
Again, I'm going with my blank answer, and I wanted to bring 2 to the table, and maybe I'll blurt something out at the end or just like voice memo it to you, and you have to stick it in.
Exactly.
I didn't think that hard about this, but because what immediately came to mind was Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
You are the second person.
That makes sense.
Won't tell this whole story, but the To Zion means so much to me. And I put it on a mix for Matt when we were first dating.
Everything.
And just what that album was to people our age.
Everything.
It really, really was.
And by the way, it's kind of the greatest album of all time.
Wasn't it named #1 on a Rolling Stone list recently? And I remember
it's
being
pretty hard to argue with it.
Well, it's funny. There was some grumbling initially.
Well, and every answer's going to have a grumble.
Totally.
There's no non-grumbling path.
As I am reminding myself, for the first time ever, I'm like putting myself out in the world. I'm like, oh boy, people are going to be mean.
There's going to be grumbles, but again,
but it is what it is.
Because there's many beautiful albums in the world, but
that's a great choice.
Yeah.
I thought you might go with one from our queen, Liz Phair.
You know,
if you had to throw Liz Phair on, of the first 3, Exile in Guyville, Whip Smart, or White Chocolate Space Egg, which do you go with?
Exile.
Great. Thank you. Onward.
Agree?
For me, Whip Smart. And Whip Smart is actually one of my 2 Desert Island albums.
Whip Smart.
I could make cases for all 3.
Absolutely.
Okay. Third question. Okay. And this I'm really excited to hear, because not only are you an author and such an incredible writer and performer, we didn't even talk about Big Mouth. I really am not a professional podcaster, I suppose. We skipped over. Did I tell you? I did not tell you that.
What?
My 12-year-old and all his friends were like, you know Jessi from Big Mouth?
God. This is my only in with the 12-year-old.
The 12-year-old set.
12-year-old.
The 15-year-old set.
Yeah.
No, but that show is magic.
Big Mouth.
What they have done.
It's a magical, miraculous show.
I mean, talk about like a murderer's row. And it's also like the coolest.
Yeah.
The writers, I was just talking to Kelly Galeska the other day. The greatest.
Kelly.
I know. I was like, you have to come do the pod.
Love.
But really, that show was so incredible, and you played Jessi on that show. And if anyone has been under a rock, there you go. Okay. But I'm bringing it back to you.
She went to space?
I'm going to say, as my science teacher in 10th grade would say, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. I'm going to pat myself on the back for the fact that this conversation hasn't been more unwieldy, considering our deep friendship and trying to bring
this has been crushed. It's crushed.
I'll take it. Thank you.
It is crushed.
Third question of Last Looks. What is either your favorite book of all time or a book you've read recently that has really stayed with you?
Okay. Well, I mean, this again is
great. Yeah.
I don't have a cool answer for either of these. I mean, Little Women was like one of the most formative books. Like that, I don't know what it is about that book. Obviously, I'm not the only one who thinks so. But Little Women was like one of the first books I read where I was like, I want to write books.
What is your second? Were you going to say?
Okay, so this is my deep cuts book, but okay. There is an author named John O'Donohue who is an Irish.
Everything good is Irish.
Former priest. He is deceased. He has been gone for about 15 years. John O'Donohue, and he is this amazing poet / philosopher, former priest, who wrote several books, but one of them is called To Bless the Space Between Us. I'm surprised I haven't given this to you.
Yes.
It's a book that is both, there's poetry in it, but it is like one of the most nourishing books that just feels like an instruction manual for life. I found out about him listening to that podcast on Being, the Krista Tippett podcast. And there's a famous interview that she does with John O'Donohue. And it's just listening, obviously, to any Irish person talk is like, num, num, num. I love this. Like,
I can't. Connell forever.
But he is just so soulful. It's such a beautiful book. I keep it by my bedside.
I'm
and I
so
will
excited.
I'm going to I'll take care of it.
Done. But I'm so excited. And this is why I was really wanting to do some sort of segment on this pod. Because not only have I never heard of that, this will now probably change my life.
I've been so obsessed with this writer that I went to this was what took me to Ireland.
This trip. That's what took you on that trip?
His family gives tours of that part of Ireland where they're from. And I went on this insane journey to Ireland last year. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
I remember. This was so amazing.
It became like such a great adventure.
Talk about nourishing your soul. It really was. Okay, last question. Okay, and I know this is hard for someone who does a lot in television, but what TV show is either, I mean, you can do My So-Called Life, as I have my lunchbox up there.
It's so hard.
What is either your favorite of all time or a show you're watching recently and would recommend?
I'm going to have to say a few buckets here.
Let's do it.
We've obviously already talked about Fleabag season 2, so I feel like that's covered and that would obviously have come up. Again, I'm just going with what comes up first in my soul. Catastrophe.
Yes. Oh my God. Sharon London sex?
Sharon London sex. Sharon London sex.
The magic of Sharon Horgan and Rob Delaney. And the late Carrie Fisher. Talk about, it's so funny you bring this up because I was just saying to someone, Catastrophe, season 2, episode 1, much like Fleabag, season 2, episode 1. There is hardly, and especially if you've had children,
so good.
There are hardly words. I love that show.
It's such a beautiful, hard, funny, beautiful show. God fucking damn it. I love Catastrophe so much.
Are we going to bring up Better Things now too?
Oh, Better Things.
Thank you, Pamela.
Better Things.
So much.
Fuck off, Better Things.
We loved that
was
show.
The pandemic watch that, when I survived a day.
Yes.
I would get in the bath with a glass of whiskey, start the whiskey, finish it, pour another one, and then I would go into my little den room and watch Better Things. And I watched most of the series.
It's incredible.
In 2 weeks.
I feel proud of Mikey Madison on her ascent and her winning the Oscar.
So
I'm
proud.
We knew about her first.
We already knew about Mikey.
Oh my God, that show is perfect.
And then I'm going to also have to throw out 2 more and then we can close. But Somebody Somewhere.
Do you know, I love Bridget Everett. I have heard from everyone I trust. I still haven't watched it. I'm embarrassed to admit.
Lucky you.
Yes.
Because it's ahead of you. It's the best show.
Okay. Amazing.
And then lastly,
and then what else? Yes, one more.
I just have to shout out what I am currently watching.
Okay.
Couples Therapy with our queen. Have you not watched
Sarah Perel?
No.
Wait, who's our queen?
Orna Gorolnik.
You have told me about this. I am not.
I'm in the middle.
No, I don't know.
Couples Therapy.
Is it incredible?
It is that she is honestly, Orna is such a genuinely brilliant therapist who is cracking people open right and left in the most gentle way. And it's a very diverse group of couples and it's different couples every season, but
it's a reality show and it's real couples.
But it's not, I feel like reality show.
Yeah, there's a little taint to that word. It
is real. I'm going to call it a docuseries.
Docuseries, perfect.
I'm going to call it a docuseries. I'm going to elevate it a bit.
Yes.
But Orna is also, aside from the way it is shot and done so beautifully, Orna herself is such a goddess and is wearing, there are many blogs and websites and various, I do believe that she just won, the Las Culturistas gave her some award because her jewelry, her clothes. Like she's one of one.
Oh, I love this so
She's
much.
one of one.
Okay, this is amazing.
I'm
envious
I
of
just left
myself
it all
being
out on
able
the
to go
field,
all this.
answering those questions. I care so much.
I love you, Jess.
I love
can't
you,
thank
Becky.
you for doing this.
Thank you for
Enough.
having me. What a
kidding
gorgeous
me?
way to spend the middle of. Is today Wednesday?
I said that to Matt this morning. I'm like,
know.
I'm having real trouble differentiating the days again.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. And all of it matters. I love you. I love you.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
General Meeting with Becky Sloviter is hosted and executive produced by me, Becky Sloviter. Our editor is Jay Rothman. Our audio engineer is Hector Fernandez. Our director of photography is Dylan Mortensen. Our tech producer is Griffin Davis. Our theme song is by Jay Rothman. Special thanks to Jocelyn Falk, Megan Monaco Gilwitt, and Haley Rosenthal. And most importantly, go Birds.